6 chill, for real.
Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. I'm Judah. Christ sprang out of Judah. King David was Judah. King Asa was Judah. Don't crowd me up, who gon' rouse me up? Alistair Crowley, your time is up. It's a big mess, I gotta clean it up. Esau, the end of my kingdom's up. On the eagle's neck, I'll press. I woke up from my rest. My rulership is up next. No vex. Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah.
Okay, Shalom Israel.
Shalom.
Welcome to class again. Glad to be back. Glad to be back, but sad. It was great in Rochester. Brothers and sisters out there are rocking and rolling. It's beautiful. I'll go ahead and open up with the intros real quick. I'll go ahead and open up with the intro, see if anybody has any questions. Wait till everybody put on. Share this. If y'all can share this online, share it. I mean, y'all should be doing this all the time, sharing it on social media, your Facebook, Instagram. I think they canceled our TikTok because he was talking about the Jews are black, so they canceled. That's why you gotta open up like 5 different TikToks. Yeah. Purim. We just ended Purim. It was really good. The unity was beautiful, man. Unity was beautiful. I know all of the brothers and sisters out there that's partaking in the high holy days can understand and appreciate the... Is that the door out there? Oh. I know brothers and sisters can appreciate these high holy days, especially in these days that we're in. The last times that we're in, and the things we're dealing with during these times. So, we got to take advantage of the unity. Practice the unity now. When you look at Ezekiel 20 and it talks about the rebels being cast out, the rebels or rebellious are not going to practice the things that were supposed to be practiced. They're not rehearsing the righteous acts. So you got to rehearse. It got to be more than words. Do I got any announcements or anything? Where they at?
Washington, do you know where the sisters put the announcements?
Where the announcements at? Oh, is it up here in this little... Did they shove it in this thing? I ain't gonna look in there. So, for y'all that don't know by now, we have classes Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. Alright, so get the word out. We're local here in Virginia Beach. We're in a few other areas. So if y'all want to find out where we're at and try to get class out there, hit us up with the information online. Alright, we have a number. You can hit us up, communicate that way, text. Obviously not during class, but you can always see what classes and where you can get class at. Alright. We have a lot of classes on there that deal with various issues, problems, your spirit. We got knowledge classes on there. We got all that. So you're going to get a variety of things, but most of all, what we focus on is trying to prepare you for judgment and how to be ready for judgment. So, because that's what's coming. That's what's happening to America. Judgment. So, we got classes in these different areas up there. Y'all should know by now. We got different cable shows we got to get back on also. It's just been really hectic. It's been busy. So, but we're going to get back on that. And we need help. Brothers and sisters, we need help. Whatever your gift is, whatever office you want to take, whatever duties you want to take on, you can't be a bystander. You got to pick a side. So we need help. Phones on mute. Phones on mute. So we'll start out with questions. See if anybody has any questions. I know Zion hasn't really been going over questions, right? No? So we'll start out with questions to see if anybody has any. I mean, we hit so many topics, so many things. So we'll start out with that. Any questions? If not, I definitely have a class tonight. Should I log in the comments or you reading the comments?
There's none.
There's none? There's none? Okay. Just let me know if they got any questions. Check out our Blog Talk Radio. I think Mashaba's still doing that. Check that Blog Talk Radio out. It's pretty good. Support San Antonio. They touch on a lot of various topics also. We are going to get the Rochester one up and rolling, but we're waiting to get a school out there to get that rolling. I mean, use all these utensils and tools to get the word out. We got to wake up our people, man. We got to wake up the nation, do what we can to do our part. All right? Everybody's trying to do their part. We have to do our part. All right? So, you can't worry about people that ain't doing their part. You can't worry about the sluggish. You can't worry about the lazy, the unmotivated. I don't worry about none of that. I do my part. I'm not Mr. I can do everything, but I do my part and move forward. If you worry about the ones that ain't doing nothing, the lazy ones, the slothful, the unmotivated, they will kill your zeal if you're weak-minded. You gotta be focused on the kingdom of the Most High and keep doing what you can do for the Most High. You know what I mean? Don't worry about the ones that are playing games. Don't worry about the ones that are worried about money, cars, jobs, carnal things. Like, we can't worry about that. They're going to have to see all that's going to burn and all that investment into the carnality. I mean, one coronavirus should have showed you that. You know what I mean? The country was shut down. You know what I mean? So you should already know that ain't that any minute you could lose your job, you could lose that money. So if you invest in that, I feel sorry for you. That's temporary. All right, you got to be careful because that'll knock out all the cords. Does anybody got anything online? Nothing online. I know we got a new brother coming in tonight. I was trying to give him a second before we get things rolling to see if he got any questions, but I'm not going to wait too long. I'm not going to wait too long. Did you put that title up there? Right, so The brothers, Zion's been holding it down. How has class been?
Good. Wow.
Good, good. Now Zion's gone. He's going to be out there for about 2 months, doing his part out there, and we're just going to keep rolling, man. Doing what we can. I'm trying to give them a few seconds for brothers and sisters to log on to see if anybody got any questions. Y'all got to study. If you ain't asking questions, you ain't studying. Anything? All right. So the class we're going over tonight is hidden secrets and the revealing of those things, because a lot of us have a lot of hidden things and wickedness that we do, a lot of hidden sins, a lot of things that you don't want to reveal, you don't want to bear witness to, a lot of things that you don't want to let out, you don't want to stop, you don't want to vomit up. And I mean, meaning, within the parable form, vomit up. You know what I mean? There's a lot of brothers and sisters that are held back because they're doing things on the low that corrupt you. You're doing things in secret, and you think it's hidden. So we just got to go over scriptures. Just touch on this topic. The reason why I'm going over this topic is because you got too many people putting up. We got a question. Of course we do. All right. Go ahead.
Eda 1950. He says he's new. His question is, how do we stop watching porn?
How do we stop? How do you stop watching porn? How to stop watching porn? Well, why do people watch porn? Why?
Because of the lust of the flesh, the carnal.
Okay, that's fine. Because of the what?
The lust of the flesh.
Right. That's true.
You're idle-minded. You kind of looking to see what you're doing. That seems right to be right there.
Right. So, which is right. Both of them are correct. You look at porn because the lust of the flesh. You got a lust spirit on you, right? Most of you are single. You don't have that access, so you succumb to things online, right? That's a given. That's a no-brainer, right? You succumb to these things online. But why do you succumb to them? It's what Shawashana said. What?
No, I was going to say what she said, actually.
Right. Stand up and talk loud.
I was actually just going to say what she said.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So, which was what?
Basically, you're idle. You don't have nothing to do.
You're idle.
So you're basically focusing. You have nothing to really focus on.
Right. Think about it. A lot of times when we get in a lot of trouble, right? When you're randomly scrolling like a scroll junkie, you know what I mean? You're like a little 13-year-old girl. You're sitting in the corner with earphones and just. When you're doing that, you look lost, right? But why? Because you're not doing nothing when you're scrolling, right? You don't got nothing to think on. You don't got nothing to meditate on. Your mind is not, it's in oblivion. We all do it, right? But it's about having control over it. Not porn. I'm talking about scrolling. Be clear on that. I'm talking about being idle. So you got to use the tools and don't let the tools use you. You know what I mean? So you got to know when to pull out of that. And a lot of brothers and sisters don't know because you don't have nothing there to occupy the space in your brain. Right? So that's why when we talk about this subject of porn, the problem is, obviously it's a lust problem. That's the obvious. But that ain't gonna fix it if I tell you you got a lust problem, right? He wants to know how to stop. Or she, I don't know. I don't know if it's a he or she, but they want to stop doing it. Well, how do you stop? Well, what is the problem? The problem is idleness. Y'all see that? Does that make sense? Yeah, because you ain't doing nothing. You know what I mean? A lot of brothers and sisters, when you see them on Facebook, and all they're doing is posting and telling their life story and trying to be a friend of random people that don't give a damn about them, and all you see is like. You know what I mean? And all these things, they ain't got nothing to do. So let's go there. Where we at? Go to Ecclesiasticus. See, it's your job, CHAAZAQYA. It's your job and his job to already be there. Y'all know this. We done been over this 1,000 times. So as I'm quoting the scripture, what's going to get you sharper is already being there. Instead of looking at me and waiting. Because you know where I'm going. I already just gave it away. What? Oh, I was like, you had it already? Well, what's up? Was there something else on there? No. Okay. So go to where you at?
Ecclesiasticus chapter 33 and verse 27.
Ecclesiasticus 33 verse what?
27.
27. Ecclesiastes 33 and 27. Read that.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 33 and verse 27. Send him to labor.
Right.
That he be not idle.
Go ahead.
For idleness teacheth much evil.
So idleness teacheth much evil. What is idle? And this is what you gotta, not only for the grown-ups, but for the kids. That's why we don't let our kids be phone junkies, video game junkies. You all cracked out. You break down when you can't get a phone or a video game. That's how you know you got demons on you. Why? Because you're a damn junkie. Your brain is controlled by nothingness. So you got to see that they're idle, especially when you let kids do that. That's why their mind, think about what their conversation is about. Right? Think about what they're thinking about. Where's your mind at? So, and I'm saying that because we got some kids, you need to sit upright, Manatazak, unless you're a 12-shift general. Right? Sitting like that.
Come.
What? Go ahead.
Idleness, not employed, unoccupied with business.
Read. That's good. Where's that at?
The KJV 1611.
1611, yeah. Go ahead.
Not employed, unoccupied with business.
Yeah, so when you're idle, you're unoccupied with business. You're not doing nothing. Think of how many books you could have had read and knowledge you could have filled your mind with. But most people is not doing that. So when you deal with this pornographic porn spirit, first of all, you don't got nobody there to fulfill that. And if you do got somebody for there, that's a whole nother subject. Now we gotta pry into that and ask ourselves, well, why are you looking at porn when you got a significant other there? You shouldn't have to be looking at porn. You should be able to fulfill that part within your relationship, right? So I'm assuming, and that, like I said, that's another question. That's another topic we can hit. But when you deal with this pornographic spirit and the scrolling and you're trying to entertain your mind, is because your mind is idle. Read it again.
Send him to labor, that he be not idle. For idleness teacheth much evil.
Idleness teacheth much evil. Why? Because they're not what? What's the definition?
Not employed, unoccupied with business.
Right, unoccupied with business. What else?
Inactive.
What happened?
I'm sorry. I thought you was asking for another definition.
Oh, you said what?
Inactive.
Idleness is what?
Inactive.
Your brain is inactive. So where you go to? You go to the lust of the flesh. Your mind starts to slip in other areas. Right? You do those things. So the first step of this is to ask yourself, where's your brain at? Why do you got time to scroll through pornography? And why is your mind not occupied in the spirit of the Most High? Right? Usually that comes through your only goal in life is work, coffee, you know what I mean? Some carnal thing that is not going to fulfill your mental status, your spiritual status. That's when you're doing that. Your mind ain't locked into the business of the Most High. Go ahead. What else you got?
Slothful, given to rest and ease.
Right.
Averse to labor.
Right. Adverse to labor. When you get those brothers and sisters that don't and ain't around a brother or sister, a lot of time you're idle. You want to avoid the correction, the being told about yourself, right? You want to avoid somebody checking you because you like to stay in that idle mind. Right, what you got? What you was going to say?
Nah, just when you just thinking about what you're saying about, you know, they hide away because you don't want to be told anything because now you have to push yourself.
Right.
And when you get out of the state of being idle, somebody's telling you how to push yourself and you don't like being told nothing, and then you like to stay in the state that you're in.
Right.
Just because you at ease.
Yeah, you at ease being idle.
You ain't got to push yourself. You ain't got to push your mind.
Yep.
No exertion, no exercise.
Yeah.
So now you have to stimulate yourself in the spirit, but then you rather but your mind is stuck on being stimulated in the flesh.
Right. And that's the problem. That now your mind is so caught up into the fleshly things because you don't know how to switch it and be meditating in the knowledge, in the word, in the work, in your business of the Most High. And this is why the scriptures tell you not to be slothful in business, in the business of the Most High, because your mind goes the other way. This world is about nothing about idleness, right? In the flesh. So that's where you're going to go. That's why most of the teenagers and most of the kids, anywhere you go, and just going to Rochester, we worked out in this gym, and our people would constantly go up there. And guess who always smells like a blunt? Black kids. You walk around the white kids, they don't smell like blunts. Why is it that our kids smell like blunts and their mental status is always defined by relieving themselves through a blunt? Because they're idle. So they get into a lot of these things. They get into gang banging online. They get into the pornography. They get into doing stuff and fights online. And now I got to shoot this person from this other neighborhood over. Why? Because they're idle. They ain't got nothing to do. So this is where it starts when you deal with that pornography spirit. Jump to verse 25.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 33 and verse 25. If thou set thy servant to labor, thou shalt find rest. But if thou let him go idle, he shall seek liberty.
Right. Now, remember, the servant is talking about we're servants of the Most High. So when you're not serving for the Most High and doing the ministry of the Most High and doing a good work for the Most High, what are you doing? Your whole goal in life is what? Like the white man taught you, the American dream, right? Go to work, right? come home, 2.5 kids, pop a beer, right? And just repeat. Maybe church on Sunday. Nowadays, they ain't worried about that. So, you know what I mean? Clubs on the weekend. And you just repeat, rinse and repeat. Because you have no goals. You have no aspirations. So, you see that idol spirit, man, is a real... it's a real big demon, man, that got a hold of our people. Go from there. Go to there was one more I wanted. And I want to throw this one in here. Now, I want to be clear. I don't know if this is a brother or a sister asking this question about pornography, how to overcome pornography, right? You got to put that question up there as we're going over it. That way they know we're on a question, sis. Let's see here. I just had it. It's 1 Timothy's 5 and 11. And y'all got to understand why I'm pulling this and how it relates. 1 Timothy's 5 and verse 11. Go ahead.
1 Timothy 5 verse 11. But the younger widows refuse.
Right. So it's talking about younger women that don't got a man. And Paul's telling you, listen, like when it comes to these women, refuse having them do church things because there's something that need to be set up first, right? And you're going to see how it correlates with your question. Go ahead.
For when they have begun to wax wanton,
right,
against Christ,
right,
they will marry.
See, meaning that they desire other things more than Christ. They're going to go and leave their works anyway. That's what it's saying, right? But there's some about them I want to show you what happens when you deal with the spirit of idleness. Go ahead.
Verse 12. Having damnation, because they have cast off their first faith.
Because that's what would happen. You know, when you deal with these young women that ain't focused on nothing, that don't got no mission or goals, right? They're going to cast off that faith anyway and then go to a man, right? What else are they going to do? Read on.
And with all, they learn to be idle.
Right. And what do you do when you're idle? Go ahead.
Wandering about from house.
Wandering. Go ahead.
Wandering about from house to house.
See? When you idle, you what? I talked to the brother out there in Rochester. You know what I mean? He was like, man, he got off at 3 o'clock in the morning. And then he ends up going and playing video games at the weed man's house. What? That's weird. How you gonna get off at 3 o'clock in the morning your job? You got the night shift. Then you gonna go hang around with the weed man. You idle, bro. What the hell is that? That don't even make sense. You should be home, sleep. But you go, you know what? What I'm gonna do after I get off work at 3 o'clock in the morning? I'm gonna go hang around with the weed man and play video games. Are you smoking weed, Doc? No. Why is this happening? Because brothers and sisters be idle. You ain't busy, man. You don't got nothing to do. The Most High has given you a mission. But y'all got to succumb to that mission. What's your question? Where are we at?
1 Timothy 5 and verse 13.
So, we're answering this question about how to overcome porn. And the way we're going about it is to show that usually a lot of times when it comes to these things we're getting in and we're occupying our mind with, because the space of our mind is not filled with anything else. You're idle. So that's why a lot of times this pornography spirit, it comes on a lot of brothers and sisters. Is there another one of those drinks? Yeah, can I get one? So we're going to show the brother or sister I don't know if it is a brother or sister, why their mind is seeping into this way. You got to get your mind off those things, man. You know what I mean? You got to get your mind off of those things. This is what the Most High is showing you. Where's your brain at? Are you studying? A lot of brothers and sisters, your daily mental consumption is what? You wake up and what do you put on when you're in the shower? Some whack-ass rap or R&B. Yeah. And then you try to zone out. Woo! Then you get in your car, right? Those are the ones where it's like 6 in the morning. You got the little ponytail that comes that high, and then you look over, and she's in the car singing, woo! It's like, what are you listening to? You're trying to occupy your mind by frivolous things to fake life through. Like, you ain't doing nothing. You're not feeding your brain nothing. And then you want to know why, when it's time to think yourself out of these situations, you can't. Because your spiritual consumption is what? Foolishness. Right? It's garbage. This is a cup. Water in here. Right? This is a can. Iced tea. What am I going to get out of each other? Am I going to get raspberries? Am I going to get Skittles out of here? What am I going to get out of this cup of water? Water. That's all you got. That's all that was poured into it. So you can only get out of these things what you put in. That's how your spirit is. So if you constantly put in the garbage, and I'm going to say it again, like a 13-year-old girl zoned out, switching on TikTok and just rolling, then that's what you're going to get back in. You're not going to get nothing. That's why a lot of grown-ups, they can't control their mind and they have no mental stability. Because you're not occupying on the things that's important. So you got to let go of those things. That's why your mind is locked into pornography. That's why your brain is going into that arena. Lust mingle with idleness. What you got? Pornhub. Right? This is what you get. What?
I appreciate it.
Hold on, read. So where are we at?
1 Timothy 5 and verse 13.
Go ahead.
And with all they learn to be idle.
Right, so this is what idle people do. Read.
Wandering about from house to house.
Go ahead.
And not only idle, but tattlers also.
So you're talking about, what do they do when they're idle? They go online and you're talking about everybody else's business. You're in everybody's Snapchat. You're in everybody's Facebook. You got nothing to do. Your mind is not stable and rooted nowhere. So this is why I went here first to show the brother or sister who asked this question that the reason why your brain is in pornography, because your brain ain't in the spirit of the word. You ain't studying. You ain't in the Bible. You ain't meditating on the knowledge. You're occupying your things, things other than the word of the Most High. So that's why you're going to veer, and your lust is going to overcome you and overpower you.
Speaking things which they ought not.
So what do? Now you get in arguments with people online, right? Because you're idle. So that's got to stop. You want to fix or gain power and control, you got to stop with the idleness. Right? What you got? You got something on that point?
Psalms 1 and 2. Might meditate on the word.
Yeah, hold that. Do you got anything to add to this point? We're going to go there. You're right on point. Perfect. But y'all get that, right? What?
I think it's YouTube because we've been angry.
It kicked us off?
No. But we're just buffering.
Oh, okay. Of course, we're always buffering, right? I don't understand that. But, so y'all get this, right? Idleness. So what's going to get the brother or sister that's asking this, right? What's going to get the brother or sisters there's a chair in here. Y'all come in here. There's chair. Nobody sits in the back. Y'all ain't been doing that, right? These kids can sit, grab another chair, let the grown-ups. Let the child right there, let her get that seat over there. And we're going to get you a chair. Let the grown-ups, they got bigger bodies than y'all. Yeah. Who is that right there? Okay. Like, yeah, you got to get your head out. You got to get your head out of the book like that, bro. Y'all come here to learn. So y'all got to get a Bible, pen. Y'all gotta write these things down and open up your Bible. That's what y'all came for. So I want you to go to Ecclesiasticus. That's a good one, but I want to start out with go to Ecclesiasticus, and you're going to start at it's Ecclesiasticus. Let me get it real quick. Go to your apocrypha. Let's get Ecclesiasticus. It's Ecclesiasticus 39. Ecclesiasticus 39 and 1.
Ecclesiasticus 39 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High.
This is what you gotta switch over your mind to. So, you know, and I know the questions about pornography, but this is for everything. If you're idle, then your mind is not in the law of the Most High. It's not meditating on the right things. You're not doing the will of the Most High. And that's what's going to trap you in these other things that you're dealing with. It's going to trap you in the lust of the flesh. It's going to trap you in the drinking. It's going to occupy you in everything else except what the Most High has given you as a job and a duty. So you got to understand this. This is why you're succumbing to porn. Right? Go ahead.
But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High.
Go ahead.
And is occupied in the meditation thereof.
See? When you occupied in the meditation of the law of the Most High. Now what does that mean? What does it mean to be occupied in the law of the Most High? What?
It means you're constantly not only thinking about it, but you're studying, you're indulging, you're engrafting yourself into everything that has to do with the Most High.
Well, you got to live life. You got to go to work. You got to take care of your kids. So how are you doing this?
Well, while you're at work, you're still meditating on the Most
Yeah,
High.
I know brothers that got a night shift. You're lifting boxes. But what do you got in your ears?
Like if you have your downtime, you know, you can go over some scripture that you have, go over the notes that you wrote down to, you know, memorize it. And, when you have downtimes like that, other than idling your time away on something like Instagram, pornography, or something like that, you just idle your time away not idle your time away, you indulge yourself in the scripture and your notes.
Right. You got to have your notes on tap. You got to constantly circulate your notes in your brain, thinking about those things. What else?
Like at night or when I'm working or something, I have like brothers teaching.
Right.
Now, while I'm at
You got the classes running through your earphones. Right. So that keeps your mind in a different place. And that's what I was saying about when you get up in the morning, the most silliest, and I know I'm going to hurt some of y'all feeling, but the most silliest brothers and sisters is the one that jump in the shower and start putting on damn music 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 in the morning that you like. Why? Why are you doing that? What are you listening to? What are you feeding your brain? But then when they get in the car, what are they doing? Yeah, you got the damn R&B blasted. You got rap blasted. And you got that around yourself. You got that around your kids. Where's your mind at? You see? You see how those things is occupying your mind. And that's why you can't rationalize the things you're dealing with. Y'all see what I'm saying? You can't rationalize your problems because you don't got no solutions to your problems. So this is what the scriptures say. This is the solution. Go ahead and read that. Read that again.
Ecclesiasticus 39 and verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High.
Wait, you got to do what?
Giveth his mind.
Stop. You got to give your mind. Right? Nobody got to force you. You know what I mean? And put a gun to your head. This is about you understanding that you got to give your mind to the Most High. You got to let go of all these things that's occupying yourself in foolishness, man. Yeah.
No, I was just thinking about what you talking about, just the occupying. It's like those moments where you are idle and you do have time, you have to switch it over. Like those times where, because basically like your mind's not occupied and you lusting on, you thinking about the porn or you thinking about the weed or the drink.
Right.
You have to switch those moments where you start thinking about it, and you have to say, I'm gonna dive into my book.
Right.
And you have to basically use a.
Like I said, we all go through it. It might not be the pornography, but you catch yourself. Like I catch myself. I'm like, you know, I'm looking up the Lakers or something like that, right? And I'm listening to what's going on with the team. And then I realized that, okay, this is 20 minutes. I done wasted time. So I got to hit that switch. Yeah. Now, it takes a power. Time. It takes a control that we have to constantly recognize ourselves. Awareness. And awareness of what you're giving your mind to. So this is what the Most High is showing you, is that get your mind on track. Get your mind on track. Who are you around? Who are you around and who's strengthening you? Because iron sharpeneth iron also. Because if it's a wife, the husband's supposed to be saying, babe, that's all you listen to. You need to occupy your mind in the law of the Most High. You know what I mean? The wife can remind the husband, babe, you know what? I need a little bit more of the word. Could we turn off, you know what I mean, this whack-ass rap music, right? Let's turn that off and let's listen to something that's going to get my mind in the right place. So it's got to be people around you that help you too. So you got different avenues, different ways to get these demons off of you. You know, a lot of times when that porn demon hits you, it's at night, right? Room gets dark. You know what I mean? You know, that's where all the lights are off. And then you get your phone and you right? You begin. That's where those demons come on. But you know what? The thing is this: you will stay up to 3, 4 in the morning randomly scrolling, right? But what happens? What happens when you open up that Bible?
You get tired.
Right? Watch, give me a good 40 minutes. I'm already see the yawning. 40 minutes in class, you're already like, we done? Is this a 5-minute video or 3? Why? Because you're using your brain. Your brain muscle's not used for strengthening and for reading and actually going in your book and staying up and breaking those spirits. So you got to practice this. You know what I mean? You got to practice it. So, you know, guarantee you'd be like, yeah, but I can't sleep at night. Trust me, we done heard it all. Well, what you doing at night? I just can't sleep. And then I slip. I slip into the pornography. Right? You could sleep. Your mind is just racing. Go ahead and open up that Bible. Start out with Samuel's 1 and 1. You'd be like, What's going on here? What's happening? It's like all of a sudden you can't comprehend anything. You got the brain of a 3-year-old. You don't know what's going on in the story. Why? Because your brain is not used to being used in that manner. So you got to break yourself. And for y'all that just came in, we're just answering a question online is, how do you stop watching porn? So the first thing we touched on was you're idle. Idleness meaning without any business or any work. And we're going into this point, we're showing that you're idle and you're not occupying your mind with things that pertain to the spirit. Right? So I'm going to read where we're at again for the new brothers that came in. Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus 39 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High,
right,
and is occupied in the meditation thereof.
In the what?
Meditation.
In the what?
Meditation thereof.
What happens when you put on that whack ass R&B and rap music? That is your meditation. Woo, 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 woo. And you just what? You zone out. And how do you know it's seeping in? Because you do what? You start randomly singing it. Look at the wrist. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. You know what I mean? You know all these random garbage rap songs, and it's what? It's like, why do you know this? Like, what is that doing for you? Because you're meditating on that. But you see, that's wicked knowledge. That's wicked input. That ain't going to help you. You know what I mean? And remember, we're talking to the godsons. For the ones that ain't got no sense, that's what feeds their brain. We're supposed to be the ones that deal with the wisdom and knowledge of the Most High. So this has got to feed your brain. This has got to be the bread that feeds you. Go ahead.
I was watching something one day, and it was talking about music and how they do it on purpose to get you hooked. So it was like, at first, you don't like it. You don't like the song. It's not a favorite song of yours. You wouldn't listen to it. But after they keep playing it over and over and over and over, your brain starts to accept the beat, the melody, and you start to, you find yourself playing the song or wanting to listen to it.
Right.
So that's how they get you programmed, the hook. They play the videos over and over on, on BET. It's the same videos. Recycle, new show come on, new video show. It's the same videos from the last show.
Yep.
It's a program.
And that's a problem with our brothers and sisters. Your mind is not occupied. Go ahead, read on.
And it's occupied in the meditation thereof.
So you gotta get more into that. You gotta get more occupied into the scriptures. But it's gotta be a interest to you, right? The reason why a lot of brothers and sisters ain't occupied in this is because it's not interesting. Let's be real. The reason why you ain't studying is because it's not interesting. It doesn't spark you. The ones that are sparked, we're looking through this book. We're constantly searching for the secrets, for the word, for ways to go in and better yourself. Cats that are bored at this, you open it up, you get bored the first 2 to 3 minutes. You see that? So it's got to be an interest to you, or it's never going to do nothing for you, right? So what interests you? That's the question. Well, what you always doing, what you're always occupied in, that interests you more. That's more important. Christ said, "Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." Your treasures on these frivolous things, guess what? He said, for the empty, there should be what? Empty things. You're going to be empty. So you got to see what you're doing to yourself. Go ahead.
We'll seek out the wisdom of all the ancients.
Yeah, see? Because when you're trying to get better and trying to keep your mind in a certain place, you're going to seek out the certain ancients. The word, the studying. What does that word mean? I didn't know that. Next you know, you like in 2 hour study. and you didn't even get through part of the chapter because you got to the 6th verse, and then the 6th verse gave you another thought of another scripture, and then you're like, dang, and then you wrote that down, and then you're like, wow, that's a good subject right there. Let me write that down. You looked up this word, and it's like 2 hours later, you already studied 2 hours. Because it's interesting. See, it has to be interesting to you. You have to want this, man. Go ahead.
And be occupied in prophecy.
And be occupied in what?
In prophecies.
Yeah, you got to be occupied in the prophecies. Right now, you should be asking yourself, the world is ending, and where the hell is my brain at? You still not stuck on dumb? I feel sorry for you. You the one that's going to catch it out of nowhere. Something's going to hit you out of nowhere. Random shot, random accident, random destruction. Why? Because the Most High said the wicked shall be a ransom for the righteous. The wicked shall be a ransom for the righteous. So you got to see, man, what is interesting to you. Go ahead.
Verse 2. He will keep the sayings of the renowned men.
So you see that? Why is it that you could slip into that pornography and have a guilty conscience afterwards? Because the Spirit's with you. It wants you to. The Spirit in you is telling you you're wrong. That's why you feel guilty. That's why you feel wrong. You're like, damn, I done did it again. I done sinned again. Right? And it's eating your conscience up. But how do you stop it? Your mind has to be occupied with different things. Go ahead.
And where subtile parables are, he will be there also.
Right. You see? You'll be searching out other things. You'll be doing other things than worried about porn or your phone or your computer or the lust of the flesh. So you got to empower yourself with the knowledge of the Most High. Go ahead.
Verse 3. He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences. And be conversant in dark parables. Right.
So y'all see that, right?
God.
Do y'all?
God.
Go to Ecclesiasticus.
You want 33? And 27?
That's where we were. Right? Oh, yeah. We already went over those. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus. Dang. Let me find it real quick.
I got one in 12 and 3.
Okay, let me get this one, and then we can get that one. And then I know you still got that one too. I ain't forgot about that one. Go to 23. 23. Go to Ecclesiastes 23 and verse 1.
Ecclesiasticus 23 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
O Lord, Father and Governor of all my whole life.
Go ahead.
Leave me not to their counsels.
Right.
And let me not fall by them.
Now, what counsels is he talking about? Hold that. Where did you have?
Psalms 1 and 2.
Yeah, watch. Check this out. I'm going to show you what counsel he doesn't want to be part of, right? Now, counsel is what? Who knows? Raise your hand. What is counsel?
Advice.
Counsel is advice. So, we're talking about advice and the wisdom of who? Who does he not want to have advice from? Read that. Where you at?
Psalms chapter 1 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
But his delight is in the law of the Lord.
Go ahead.
And in his law do he meditate day and night.
Go ahead.
And he shall be like a tree.
Right. That's not where I want it. Hold on a second. All right. It is the counsel of the let me see here. Verse 1. 1 and 1. There you go.
Psalms chapter 1 and 1.
Go ahead.
Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
Right, because, Karatza, I'm going to show you. Go back to Ecclesiasticus. Read where you left off at it.
O Lord, my Father.
Right.
And governor of all my whole life.
Go ahead.
Lead me not to their counsel.
Stop. What counsel, Karatza?
Ungodly.
It's not the second verse. It's the first verse.
Time.
Right?
Time.
Read the first verse again.
Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
He doesn't want to be part of the counsel of the ungodly. Why? Because the counsel, the advice, the wisdom, the mind of the ungodly is occupied in what? Pornography. You online. You cripping and blooding online on Facebook, Instagram. So you're fighting with everybody online. You got fake friends online. What's that?
I got a scripture.
Hold that. Do y'all understand this? Y'all got to see that, what is going on. Your mind is not in the right place. This is why you go to pornography. This is why you talking to random people online. And I'm saying this for the kids too. I'll say it again. That's why if your daughter or your son got that scrolling demon on them, you better see where their brain is. They're going to get caught up with Joe Smo and be banging. Your 16-year-old is going to be banging a grown-up down the block. Why? Because you are not doing the things that to promote that. To promote locking into the spirit. To promote keeping their mind in the right place. You let them do that. So what's going to happen? When they go off in that mentality, you can't think it's strange. And then you as a grown-up, what are you doing? If your daughter, your son see you scrolling all the time, it just shut off? No, it's there. No, sis. What you do to the computer?
It was this part that was right here to the camera. I didn't do nothing. I was just right here. It was.
Yeah, is it still on there?
It's still on.
Yeah. You got to watch the cords,
Yeah.
and the TV for some time goes to sleep. Y'all get this, right? Who understands what I'm going over? What's up, Xavier? Tell me.
Pretty much, if we're idle in certain things, it's just we're leading ourselves to pretty much destruction.
Right.
We're not focused on the Most High and what He has.
There you go. As simple as that. So what are you occupied in? Go ahead, read on. All right, you're done with read Psalms 1 and 1 again.
Psalms 1 and 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
Now go back to Ecclesiasticus 23 and 1.
Ecclesiasticus 23 and 1.
Uh-huh.
O Lord, Father and governor of all my whole life.
Go ahead.
Lead me not to their counsel.
See, you can't deal with the counsel or the advice or wisdom of the ungodly. Why? Go ahead.
And let me not fall by them.
Why? Because they're wicked. It ain't going to lead you right. Go ahead.
Verse 2.
Who
will set scourges over my thoughts?
So what do you need? Let's go back to the question. The individual asks, how do you stop watching porn? Read it again. It's telling us. Who will what?
Who will set scourges over my thoughts?
So where is the whips over your thoughts? What is whipping your mind in order to make sure you don't go down that path? Because when this question is asked, obviously, they could be asking it for themselves. They could be asking it for other people. But they have a conscience to know that they don't want that spirit around them. They want to let that go, right? But what do they need? They need whips over their thoughts. You got a question? Arya, do you have a question? I mean, Manatazai, do you have a question?
No, I'm just saying what's the question again?
The question is, you guys, this is why you guys got to pay attention. How do you stop watching pornography?
Oh yeah, I know how to stop watching pornography.
Oh, okay. Well, I want you to listen right now. All right. I want y'all to pay attention. Go ahead, read.
Who will set scourges over my thoughts? And the discipline of wisdom over my heart?
Go ahead.
They that spare me not for my ignorance.
So how is your ignorance is going to get whipped in shape? How is this going to happen? By you not being idle. By you not being occupied with the wrong things. Go ahead.
And it passed not by my sins.
See? Because you got the whips to keep you in order so your sins won't increase. Go ahead.
Least my ignorances increase.
Least what?
My ignorances increase.
Why? Because if you don't got a standard, if you don't got something to keep your mind in order, then your ignorances are always going to increase. Because your mind got to be guided in righteousness. Remember, our mind wasn't guided in righteousness. Phones on mute, please. Go ahead.
And my sins abound to my destruction.
Right, you see that? And what happens when you do the porn or you do other wicked, defiled things? Your conscience gets weak. That spiritual man gets what? Hurt. Right? You beat yourself up. Right? You look at yourself in the mirror and be like, man, I'm garbage. Right? And you don't want that to happen. So you gotta get the spiritual power, which is the word. Go ahead.
And I fall before mine adversary.
Right, you see that? And then everybody looking at you and saying, see? Look at that guy. Look at that woman. Go ahead.
And mine enemy rejoice over me.
So this is what I wanted to show you, man. Where you at, Ariel?
What I had was...
It's going right where we're talking about, right?
It was 12 and 3.
Go Ecclesiasticus and the Apocrypha?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 and verse 3.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil.
Right.
Nor to him that gives no alms.
Right.
So this scripture is showing basically you're not going to increase in anything more than that wickedness that you're occupied.
Right.
So you're not going to have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, like you said, in today's day and age. When there's a famine, there's a shortage of the word, you're not going to have time to resort back to the knowledge.
Right, but what are we talking about?
We're talking about the occupying yourself in evil.
Right. Well, what are we answering?
In the context of being occupied and always watching porn.
Right.
So,
okay.
So in that time, if you're always giving your mind to that and occupied in that, you're going to fail in the latter days. Why? Because that's what you're feeding off of.
Right.
And you're going to destroy yourself.
Right. And this is what we got to be aware of. That's where it starts. It starts there, right? So this is how you stop. Right? You got to start getting in the book. You got to start thinking on the commandments. You got to start putting the Most High first. You know, I can keep going. There's a lot of different levels, but this is where it should start. It should start with you locking out idleness, and you start getting in the book and keeping your mind on the scriptures. Where you at?
With Ecclesiasticus chapter 38, verse 24.
We just, Ecclesiastes 38, no, you're right. Ecclesiastes 38 and 24. Ecclesiastes 38 and 24.
Ecclesiastes chapter 38, verse 24. The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure. So this is showing you right here, in his free time, he's gaining wisdom by study. It's beautiful how you described it, because when you reading on a chapter, I was talking to a brother the other day, when you're learning, I was learning about Paul, and I gave a description of how I break that down. Like, you understand where he's from, so then you look up his tribe, what tribe he's from, and you're going into, okay, well, you got to go into who Benjamin was. Then you find out who his father was.
Okay, keep me on track here.
All right,
what we're talking about.
So in your free time, you're gaining more knowledge of the scriptures instead of being occupied with evilness.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God.
The leisure of foolishness. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because we got to go to Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 3. Go to Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 3.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 3.
Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 3.
For forward thoughts separate from the Most High.
Right. Because negative is going to constantly keep you separate from the Most High. So now you got to learn to shut down the flesh. This is how you do it. You got to understand. Forward thoughts separate you from the Most High. If you constantly are occupying yourself in negative, that's where you go to sin. That's where you get the pornography, and that's where a lot of these things overcome you. So you got to be occupied in the right things. Because if not, you're going to be separate from the spirit. Y'all get this? That's why you got to start shutting down the flesh. Right? You got to understand, when dealing with pornography, you got to shut down the flesh. Right? But you ask, it goes back to how. Well, how do I shut down the flesh? What are you occupied in? You can't shut down the flesh if you're occupied in fleshly things. Right? What?
Now, look at the word occupied.
Uh-huh.
It said busy and active.
Right.
So it's like you're busy in fleshly things.
As opposed to being idle. Right.
And then you idle in the wrong things, but you're busy in the wrong. You idle in the wrong things, which is the spirit and getting into the word. But then you're busy in things that's going to lead you to death, which is flesh, porn, weed, drink. You know, so it's basically you basically using the wrong method,
right,
to get to heal yourself. Because really, the idleness is like you basically lost. You're dealing with your issues,
right,
and you're using the porn to deal with your issue. So then you're busy in the wrong thing. That's not going to help you deal with the issue.
Right.
So now you're stuck.
It's like a cycle.
Yeah.
Like you don't got the knowledge, and you keep. It's like I said about whether it's porn or smoking weed or all these things. It's like their problem is being anxious and dealing with their issues. Their solution is smoking the weed. But their smoking the weed gets you what? More anxious, more paranoid, right? and then, but you got the issue still, and it's like a consistent cycle until you. Wait, you gotta raise your hand. It's very important. Raise your hand. That way we don't yell over each other. I couldn't hear you anyway. What you were saying?
No, it's like a temporary pleasure.
Huh?
Because you basically like in a sense of like you're stressing. You got all these things you're thinking about, and you're trying to block out those things that you're thinking about. So you're using these fleshly things to cancel it out.
Right.
So it's a distraction basically.
Right.
So you're stuck in that. You're stuck in the loop of using that because it blocks it out for that moment.
Right. You were saying that?
I was saying, doing it like that, basically, problems compound problems. So you have a problem, you don't handle it right.
Right.
You add it to another problem, like you said, well, smoking weed or doing porn.
Right.
You add it to another problem that you could create, which problem compound problems, because you're not walking with knowledge and understanding and using your time the correct way.
Right, exactly. It's like, and that's what you just explained right there is like, what is the problem with our people, right? It goes back to the basics. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will reject you. We don't got the knowledge on how to fix our problems, so we resort to all the carnal aspects. Porn, weed, drinking, losing it, snapping, you know what I mean? This fake internet persona, you a killer, you a thug, all that madness, right? And it's all phony. It never solves anything. It's either going to get you deaf or get you your conscience and your mind destroyed. So go from there. That being said, go from there. Go to Romans 6 and 12. And I'm gonna say this, and I always say this when it comes to these questions. Let me finish talking first. You guys, Khan, I get it. You can stay standing, but what I'm saying is you can't Like when I'm in the middle of talking, you can't. You know what I mean? You gotta like pace it. You my point was, what was my point? What was that saying? Who was listening?
You was on Wisdom Psalm 1 and 3, and you was basically saying how the forward thoughts separate you.
Right, no. I was on a point before you jumped in. No, it's very important to understand what's going to give you the solution to these issues and these problems. Or we're just going to go into a cyclone of year after year, day after day, constantly going through the same loop. You know, the Bible, the Most High gives us the solution. The wisdom of the Most High is the solution, right? That's what I was saying. What I was saying was, a lot of these topics, there's a lot more scriptures on meditation. Like we did a whole class on that. So there's a few more scriptures on idleness. I'm not going over all of them because I'm trying to answer the question and move on. But I do want to answer this question for you because this is a big demon with our people. Pornography. It's a big spirit. Your mind gets warped with that. Then you want to take that to the bedroom. And you know the white man's a filthy animal. You know what I mean? That's where all that comes from. It comes from Esau. And we're talking about the so-called white man that created these things. Right? They have sex with dogs, cats. They put heads in vaginas. Right? It can get filthy. But then when you look at porn, when does it stop? It doesn't. There is no rules. So that dilutes your outlook on what sexual relations supposed to be. So no, you don't supposed to be looking at that. You don't supposed to be looking at another man and another woman do these things. It's not good for your spirit. It's not good for your soul. It's going to corrupt you. You understand that? So read where we at.
Romans chapter 6 and verse 12.
Go ahead.
Let not sin therefore
Reign
in your mortal body.
You got to yell. Read it again.
Let not sin therefore.
You're not yelling though. Read it one more time.
Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body.
Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body. You got to get a hold of this. You got to start shutting it down. Right? The thing in our body is these limbs. Smell, taste, feel, hearing, are like all these things that come in, you can't let it rule you. You got to gain control of yourself. This is the only way you're going to get a hold of that porn. The second portion tells it all, which was meditation. Putting the mind of the Most High in you. If you're not doing that, this ain't gonna work. Because you don't know how to control it, cut it out, take it out of your mind, cut off the cancers. You don't know how to do it. So you got to get the wisdom on how to do it. Right? Which is meditation on the laws, on the scriptures, on the word. You got to put your mind in the right arena, and then you'll be able to do this part, which is what? Chopping it out of you and out of others. Go ahead.
That ye should obey in the lust thereof.
See? You see that? That lust is pulling at you. For the person that asks about the question, or maybe you ask it for somebody else, but it's pulling at, when you deal with this spirit, it's lust pulling at you. Go ahead.
Neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin.
Right, you see that? Neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin. You see that? Meaning that you got to control this. You got to control your body, man. Your mind, your spirit. You're a bag of flesh. You're a bag of meat. And you got to control that meat. You know what I mean? Because it wants to do everything. You know? You're hungry. And it pulls you what? It pulls you everywhere. You get hungry, you get angry, You get like, man, I'm hungry. I gotta, like the flesh. Right? You a man, you see a woman, right? You looking. You see a woman, you a man, you like the flesh. See, if we let these things rule us, man, we'll be destroyed. Go ahead.
But yield yourselves unto God.
Right?
As those that are alive from the dead.
As those that are alive from the dead. Yield yourself unto the Most High. So what does that mean? You got to start yielding yourself to the Spirit. But how do you know the Spirit if your mind is not occupied in the Spirit? You see how I keep going back to that? Because this is not going to work unless your mind and thoughts is in the knowledge. It's not going to work. This is just going to be another scripture. Right? So you got to be occupied and those things got to be around you daily. Go ahead.
And your members as instruments of righteousness unto God.
Right. So you got to yield your members over to the Most High. Go ahead.
For sin shall not have dominion over you.
See? You can't let that negative and those negative things have dominion over you. You can't let them rule you. You got to start shutting them down. Go ahead.
For ye are not under the law, but under grace.
Go ahead.
What then? Shall we sin? Because we are not under the law, but under grace?
Now I want you to where we at?
We're at 15.
Go ahead, read down.
God forbid.
Right. So what it's saying is that you don't got the depth of the law, right? We know that because you do watch that porn, lightning doesn't strike through the roof and shoot you right in the face. You got grace. But you weren't supposed to take that grace for granted, right? You were supposed to use it as a tool to keep increasing in righteousness. Go ahead.
Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey?
Right. Now, what he's saying here is who you yield your servants to obey. So if you yield your body to pornography, that's who you're going to be a servant of, porn. Go ahead.
His servants ye are to whom ye obey.
Right? You see that? That's who you're a servant of. If you yield your servants to a blunt, you're going to be a blunt. And that is only going to be your only solution. You yield your servants to anger, pride, jealousy, hatred. That's what you're going to be a servant to. So you got to know how to control these things. Go ahead.
Whether of sin unto death. Or of abundance unto righteousness.
Y'all see that? So you got to control that. One more scripture, because I can keep going and going and going. Let's go to one of my favorite ones, 2 Corinthians. I can keep going with this, but does anybody else have any other questions? No? Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's a good question, man. Hopefully it's edifying the brother or sister that asked the question. Go to 2 Corinthians. You're going to read the 7th chapter and the 10th verse.
Come.
Another one of my favorite ones. Go ahead.
2 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 10.
Right. 2 Corinthians 7 and 10. Go ahead.
For godly sorrow worketh repentance to salvation.
So you're sorry. You messed up, right? You want to stop sin. Your conscience is guilty, right? Well, then that's supposed to move you towards repentance. That's supposed to move you towards salvation. If you really are sorrow, you're supposed to be moving towards salvation, not moving towards, I'm going to do it again. So this is what Paul's talking about. Go ahead.
For godly sorrow worketh repentance to salvation.
Go ahead.
Not to be repented of.
Meaning not to go back and do it. So how do you stop? You got to empower yourself, man. You got to start showing yourself what things that are around you and why you're so easily psychologically and mentally to give into the lust of the flesh and the things of this life. It's what you're doing. It's what you're occupied in. That's why it's so easy for you to go to the porn. So if you don't want to go to the porn, then repentance is supposed to lead you far away from that. Now how? How do I get better at righteousness? Go ahead.
But the sorrow of the world worketh death.
The first thing you can't have is the sorrow of the world. That's what he's saying. Let's get that right. You can't have the sorrow of the world, because the sorrow of the world is what? Damn, I did wickedness. Right? And then the next night you do it again. And then the next night you do it again. That's that Christian sorrow. Right? You do a brother wrong, and then you go do it again. That's the Christian sorrow. And I'm going to say the fake Christians. Right? But the true believers in Christ, they're going to move forward and fix it. Go ahead.
For behold, this selfsame thing that ye sorrow after.
Right? Because you sorrow, right? You get those people, man, I don't know why I did it. Okay, so you're sorry? Well, then this is how you're supposed to sorrow in the spirit of the Most High. Go ahead.
That he sorrowed after a godly sort.
So you got to have sorrow after a godly sort. A lot of people don't have godly sorrow. They have worldly sorrow. They got that fake sorrow. Right? They ain't really guilty in the spirit and contrite. So you got to have true sorrow. Now, true sorrow, then you would start to set up a plan. There's a plan then. You see that? If you owe me $50 and I know me, I forget a lot. I got to set up a plan so I don't forget to pay you back. Right? Or I owe you $50. Excuse me. And I forget. I got so much things going on, I forget. And you sitting back like, where my $50 at? That's what's going on in your head. And I'm like moving around like, I don't remember no $50. I don't remember that, right? So if I'm known for not paying you back, and you tell me, hey, you owe me that $50. It's been 3 years. Could I get that 50? I got to say, damn, I'm the guy that doesn't pay back my debts. That's what I'm known for. So now I got to start setting up parameters and things to not be that guy. If you're that sister that always runs her mouth and always got something to say to their husband, then what are you doing to set up to not be that sister? You see that? And it works in every arena. Whatever you want to apply it to. If you got godly sorrow, how are you fixing it? If you don't got a plan, you're never going to fix it. That's black and Hispanic people. You don't got no plan. Your plan is like, I'm going to have faith. The Lord is going to be with me. That ain't going to do nothing. Faith without works is not dead. Faith without works is dead. You can pray all you want. I'm going to go pray. I hate when brothers and sisters tell me that. I done sat 3 hours with you in the council. I done went to like 75 scriptures, and you tell me at the end, you know what, I'm going to pray on it. The Lord answered your prayers. He gave you the knowledge. That's answering your prayer. Now you got to follow the knowledge. That's how it works. You pray, then he guides you with the book, with the wisdom. So this is the solution. You got to have godly sorrow. Godly sorrow, now you got to set up parameters in your life so you won't slip back into the dirty web. Right? The dark web of pornography. Right? Go ahead.
That he sought after a godly sort.
Go ahead.
What carefulness. What carefulness.
So now, you know you got porn demons on you. Did you delete it off of your phone? You can't have 75 apps talking about, you know what, man, Priest CHAAZAQYA is right. I'm going to fight it. But you got the 75 apps on your phone. You're not fighting nothing. You got to delete all that. Right? You know what I mean? Man, I'm a drunk. I be drinking too much. Right? But you got a whole 6-pack. You got the whole cabinet full of liquor. You're not doing nothing to fix it. You playing yourself. You got a problem with eating too much sugar. You got the ho-hos, bonbons. You got the donuts. Right? Oh, I'm working on it, but look at your cabinet. You're not doing nothing. It doesn't work like that. You understand that? Y'all got to set up the right parameters. What you got?
Carefulness.
Carefulness. What is it?
Carefulness is being attentive to potential danger.
See? You know it's danger, excuse me. You know it's danger there. Right? So you got to delete all that stuff on your phone. Man, you might have to put a parental guidance on yourself. You know what I mean? Shut yourself down on your computers. Go ahead and put a parental guidance on your Google. That way, next time you try to go in there, you can't. You realize, dang, now I got to go change the password to that password, to that password. You know what? Never mind. I got demons on me anyway. Right? But when you never set up nothing, it's never going to be fixed. So you got to be careful the next time. What you got?
Error or harm. It says, careful forethought to avoid danger or harm, close attention or vigilance.
Right, I like that. Vigilance. Right? What is your problem? What is your battle? Are you working on that? Are you setting up things to work on that? So this is how it works with godly sorrow. All the fake Christians, you ain't doing nothing. All the ones that are going to do it anyway and just acting like they're sincere, Most High knows your heart. Like, you can front all you want. Go ahead.
Vigilance to minimize risk.
Right. Go ahead, jump back.
Come. What carefulness it wrought in you.
Right. It's supposed to write in you a carefulness, the gospel, the word, the sincerity, the guilt. It's supposed to write in you a spirit of carefulness. Go ahead.
Yea, what clearing of yourself.
So you supposed, now I'm the guy that don't pay back. Now I done made a record of me and a standard and a character of not paying, of paying back then. It's no longer, oh, you can't trust that guy. No, he pays his debts now. Why? He made a mistake and got on top of it. You see that? This is how it works, man. Like the Bible is sensible. All that, you know what I mean? I don't know how. It can't fix it. I like when I get those. We get those. Well, I did that. No, you didn't. No, you didn't do it to fix it. You did it the wrong way. And if you had applied the right way, the Most High would have delivered you from that. So the wisdom of the Most High is applicable. It can be applied in your life. Go ahead.
Yea, what indignation.
What?
What indignation.
What? See, indignation is what? Who knows what indignation is? See, that's where y'all got to be looking these things up. See? Indignation. What?
It's anger or righteous anger.
Right. Indignation is a deep, righteous anger against something. So are you,
I said, or the annoyance. Like,
right.
Kind of, you're not just angered by it, but it's like the thought of it makes your blood boil about it. You're annoyed by it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're annoyed. So, you see how you have to be when it deals with these things? So are you angry enough against that negative and sin to say, you know what, damn, I'm not going to let this get me again. You got me once, Satan. You got me. You got me. You played me, but guess what? It ain't going to happen again. Because you're setting up what? Roadblocks. You're setting up roadblocks to where you got to go through hoops, and then you're like, you know what, man? The Spirit's showing me I don't even need that. What? Go ahead.
Yea, what fear. Yea, what vehement desire.
Right? What vehement desire. Go ahead.
Yea, what zeal.
What zeal. You got to have zeal to fight against that wickedness and that sin and that porn. Go ahead.
Yea, what revenge.
Yeah, you got to take revenge because Satan got you. Now it's time to get him and show him that you're standing for righteousness. That the gospel, the Most High, the wisdom is your strength. Go ahead. That the Most High is your rock. Go ahead.
Yea, what revenge in all things.
Right, revenge in all things. Y'all get this? So this is how you got to do. You got to fight against that. So put up the parameters, man. How do you stop porn? Delete it from your computers. Put a block on your phone. Make sure the websites you can't go to. You know what I mean? Occupy your mind in the laws of the Most High. Keep your mind steadily on things that's going to nourish righteousness. You know what I mean? And then most of all, if you don't got a significant other, pray. Pray. Ask the Most High to send you somebody. That way you don't have to look at that, and you can the scriptures say if you burn, marry. That's what it says. You're looking at porn, it says if you burn, marry. Get a woman. Get a man. You don't have to deal with pornography. Right? So hopefully that answered oh no, read down. Finish that. I'm sorry. Come on, we got to finish that. Go ahead.
What revenge in all things. Ye have approved yourselves to be clear in this matter.
Yeah, see, you got to prove yourself to be clear in the matter. To the Most High. Yahweh, I'm not that guy. I'm not that woman. I don't want to be that person. So I'm doing all the things to show you that I have a broken spirit, a contrite mind. Go ahead.
Verse 12. Wherefore, though I write unto you.
Right, so y'all get that, right? Con? Did you have any questions, brother? You sure? The floor is yours. None? On anything? Anything on your mind you wanted to talk about?
I think things about the Lunar Sabbath.
The Lunar Sabbath? The Lunar Sabbath, what about it? You never read that there was a Sabbath. You read that there was a feast. I'm going to do a class on that. Be patient with me on that. I'm going to do a whole class on that. Because when you go over that, it never says the Sabbath. It says always and the Sabbath. So you read that there was a feast, but you don't read that it was a Sabbath. But I'm going to put those together and then come back and give you all that info. All right? This is your first time here?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You know about the Hebrew Israelites?
Yeah.
Right. So how long you been studying?
About 3 months now.
Oh, you fresh out of the womb, huh?
Yeah.
All praises to the Most High, man. So you just been learning online?
Yeah. I got like a little camp. It's like 4 people.
Oh, that'll work. That's beautiful, man.
I bounce off with them.
Right.
I camp with them. I like pass out flyers or whatever.
Okay, that's beautiful, man. That's good, man. So you in there? You ready?
Yeah.
That's what's up. You got any other question?
Any more questions?
Yeah.
Not right now.
Okay. Well, we do that like a lot of questions before class. We go over, we deal with. You know what I mean? That specific question, I don't want to just go over a few scriptures. I want to go over entire class on that because that's a few people been asking that. So I wanted to wait. Actually, somebody in Rochester asked the same thing. I wanted to wait till we get back online so we can record it and it can be set in stone. You know what I mean? And because it's a common question. You know what I mean? But you didn't have any other questions?
No.
Okay. All right. Well.
Not at the moment, no.
Right. Okay. Well, if you do, just at any time, you can always ask. We just ask you, raise your hand, and it's all good, all right? Anybody had any other questions? Anything online? All right, because I know I only got 20 minutes left, so this ain't going to be I ain't going to go into my class. I'll go over that Tuesday. I'm going to save that. Oh, okay. Right. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay. All right. We got 20 minutes. Anybody got anything y'all want to? You got it? You got a question?
How did we get in slavery?
How did we get in slavery? By being niggas. That's how. By being rebellious, stubborn, and stiff-necked. I'll answer that question with one scripture. Go to Jeremiah. By being stubborn, rebellious, stiff-necked, hard-headed people, the Most High put us into captivity because of our punishment. Because of what we did. It is... Huh? No. Let's see. No, that's not what I was looking for. It is Jeremiah. Let me find it real quick. I thought it was Jeremiah. It says I might have to get the one in Deuteronomy. I might have to get the one in Deuteronomy real quick. Go to Deuteronomy. I'm gonna have to get real basic on them. Deuteronomy 28 and 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee.
So are you listening? So what put us in these curses is that we didn't listen to the laws, statutes, and commandments. We didn't hear the Most High. We wanted to do our own thing. We wanted to serve our own way. So all these curses came upon us. Do you see that? Hamanazak? Okay. Oh, here it is. 16 and 10.
Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 10.
Yeah. Jeremiah 16 and 10. Go ahead, read that.
Jeremiah chapter 16 verse 10. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt show this people all these words, and they shall say unto thee,
right?
Wherefore hath the Lord pronounced all this great evil against us?
Right. So that's your question. Well, why the Most High did this to us? Why is all this evil? Why are we in the ghettos and the slums? Last high, first fire. Why are our daughters walking around whoring themselves out? Why are the sons getting shot down in the streets? Why? Go ahead.
Or what is our iniquity?
Right. What did we do? Go ahead.
Or what is our sin?
Go ahead.
That we have committed against the Lord
Read.
our God.
Read.
Then shalt thou say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me.
You see? Because our forefathers forsaken the Most High, and that's why we're here. Our forefathers, our ancestors, they didn't bow and follow the laws and commandments. So that's why we're here. That's why we're in this captivity. But guess what? It's almost over. Establish good works, because that's what's going to get you into the kingdom. You better have some good works under your belt. Righteous works. You better be cleaning yourself up, because it's almost over. Look at the prophecies and the things that are going on in this world today. It's not too long. We got to stay consistent, humble, fighting, ready to build and teach our people. Go ahead.
Come. Then shalt thou say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me,
right?
Saith the Lord,
right?
And have walked after other gods,
right?
And have served them, and have worshipped them.
Yeah, the problem is our people got every other power, God, in their eyesight. Every other thing takes control of them except the Most High. So that's why we're here. And that's why it's consistent. Go ahead.
And have forsaken me.
Go ahead.
And have not kept my law.
Right. You see that? Read.
And you have done worse than your fathers.
That's why we're here. You did worse than your fathers. Our people are perpetuating the wickedness and foolishness and sin and negative. And this is why we're still here in this captivity. So it's up to us that are woke, that are, you know, trying to do right, to be consistent, be an example, and even to y'all kids too. The Most High is going to judge you for your works. You're conscious. You know what the right from wrong. You know what you're supposed to be doing. You're going to be judged for your actions. Go ahead.
Come. And ye have done worse than your fathers. For behold, ye walk, every one, after the imagination of his evil heart.
Right. So that's why we're still here. That's why we're here right now, because we disobeyed the commandments of the Most High, and we did worse than our fathers. So, yeah. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay. You want to take it? Yeah. Anybody else got any other questions before we end it out on anything? No? Who has? Yeah, what? What's your? We had a question right there. What's your question, bro?
Why Satan trying to get the Most High?
Why what?
Satan trying to be the Most High.
Why Satan tried to be the Most High?
Yes.
Because of pride. Because of pride. Go to Ezekiel. Go to Ezekiel, the 28th chapter. Go to Ezekiel 28 and 2. So now I'm gonna talk to you about his physical counterpart, which is the embodiment, which is the so-called white man that has perpetuated the actions and themes of the devil, right? So why does Satan try to take the place of the Most High? Because of pride. Read that.
Con is Ezekiel chapter 28 verse 2. Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord God, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am God.
Right. So whatever entity, power, when you look at these kings and these people and these spirits that try to match the stature of the Most High, this is where they go off. Right? So whether this, I'm gonna say the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon, they try to match and think they're God. They try to live up to the stature supposedly come to the stature of the Most High. That's why they do what? They make humans. They try to saw heads of animals and put them on heads of humans. They try to saw your head off and put it on another body because they think they're God. So this is what's the problem with them is pride. Right? Read.
I sit in the seat of God.
You see that? They say they sit in the seat of God. When you look at America, America is in that mind state of thinking they're God. Biden is going to fix everything. America is going to fix everything. See? And this is a wicked mind state. Go ahead.
In the midst of the seas.
In the midst of the seas. So they sit amongst all the nations and their pride lifts them up. So anybody that tries to come to the stature and the power of the Most High, this is their problem. They try to lift themselves up and be equal with the Most High. Go ahead.
Yet thou art a man.
The Most High said he's a man. So I know you. I'm not sure if you asked about the spiritual demon Satan, but the physical counterpart. The physical counterpart is trying to live up and think his stature can deal on the level of the Most High. That's why they mess with the DNA. That's why they mess with your food. That's why they mess with your water. They do all these things because they think in their mind they're gods. Go ahead.
And not God.
They're not the Most High. Go ahead.
Though thou set in thy heart as the heart of God. Behold, thou art wiser than David.
See, you know what it's saying there? Is that they got a lot of wisdom. So when you look at this demon, when you look at the physical counterpart of Satan, they think just because they got a lot of wisdom and knowledge and they can get things, that's what lifts their pride up. It tells you in Timothy's that they think godliness is gain. They think God is what America because the gain and the wealth. But they're not realizing that they got that by rape, robbery, and murder, death, and destruction. So this is where they go off at. Go ahead.
There is no secret that they cannot hide from thee.
Yeah, they trying to learn all the secrets. They trying to go to all different planets. They trying to search out the stars. They trying to do all kind of different things. We know they can't do it, but they're trying. They're trying to attempt these things, and this is what gives them a godlike persona to try to match themselves up to the Most High. But the Most High said they're just men. Go ahead.
With thy wisdom and with that understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches.
Right.
And hast gotten gold and silver unto thy treasures.
Right.
By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic, thou hast increased thy riches. And thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches.
You see that? Because America's rich, because they get a lot of things through corrupt, rape, rob, murder, stealing, lies, falsehood. This is why their pride is lifted up. Because of their riches. Go ahead.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord God. Because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of God.
Go ahead.
Behold, therefore, I will bring strangers upon thee.
So the Most High is going to show them they're not God by bringing all the nations on them to destroy them. Right? They're learning they're not God when an earthquake, a famine, a pestilence, the tornado destroys them. A fires jumping over and burning down their houses. Mudslides. Because the Most High is showing them, you can't even stop these things around you. How you God? You see that? So this is, and I'm talking about the physical counterpart, the one with that persona of the devil, right? This is how, and this is why they're thinking they're on the level of God. You understand that? That help out a little bit? Yeah. All right. Y'all got any other questions before we end class? Remember, tonight is the Sabbath. Tonight, you got to remember all the drama, all the foolishness, Got to put that away. I got to try to remember, rest from all that stupidity. Tonight's night, more so than any night, to keep your mind locked into the Spirit, to the Word, get in the book. All right? Any other questions online? Nothing. All right, well, we're here tomorrow. If you got some, just shoot. All right? Yeah. We'll touch on it. Nobody got anything? All right, we'll give them a few seconds to see if they got anything online. You got to make sure you change that YouTube to the main question that was asked. All right, and then we'll, yeah, the class we'll go over Tuesday. The one I had set up. Yeah, what's your question? Yeah.
Would 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4 go with that one?
What he is asking.
What he was asking, yeah.
2 Thessalonians 2 and 4. Go ahead and pull it.
2 Thessalonians 2 and 4. Who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he is as God sitteth in the temple of the Most High,
right?
Showing himself that he is the Most High.
Go ahead.
Verse 5. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you,
right? So yeah, that's showing that it goes with that. Yeah, that's. I mean, we can keep going and going with that topic, but I was just trying to give them a little taste. But yeah, that goes right with it. You can write that down too, to show you that persona of individuals trying to be and live to the stature of the Most High. Yeah, that goes with it. That was what?
That was 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4.
2 Thessalonians 2 and 4. Yeah.
Damian asked, are you doing the Sabbath class?
Are we doing what Sabbath class?
Tomorrow.
Huh? Yeah, Houston is doing it. I'm not doing it live. No, we usually we're usually not live. They're usually live out there, unless CHAAZAQYA tells me. But I think they're doing it out there. Yeah. Was that it? Oh, dang! I forgot. Listen, I almost forgot this. We need help with the lamb. We need help with the lamb. So if you could drop alms for the lamb for the Passover, we're getting all this stuff prepared. We need y'all help. So, brothers and sisters, remember, everybody's gonna eat. Everybody's gonna be a part. We don't charge you for coming into the Passover, but we ask y'all to help. So if y'all got it, help. Now, if you don't get spooky, don't get weird. Still come to the Pesach. Still come to the Passover. But remember, this year, Passover is going to be in San Antonio. It's going to be all San Antonio. Brothers is in Albuquerque. Hopefully, we know Houston, Rochester, us out here. You know what I mean? And all the other brothers scattered throughout. So we need to get lamb. All right. So we ask y'all to, if y'all get y'all taxes, drop some alms on the school so we can facilitate and make sure the lamb and everything is taken care of for the feast of the Passover. All right. I'll say it again. It's ordained by the Most High to come to the Passover. So if you don't have, don't be like our people think. Well, I didn't give, so I'm not coming. That's not how this works. We're gonna have the Passover, but we also, if you can't help. If not, don't worry about it. It's gonna happen. All right. So I didn't want to forget that because it's creeping right up. Passover is creeping right up. Your garments, Passover garments. If you're going in unity with the school and you feel you're a part of the school, get your garment. You're going to have a nice garment anyway. You need that. So get your garment. If not, that's fine too. You know what I mean? But we're going to be together in unity. All right. Remember, what did we do when we came out of Egypt? We didn't leave out of Egypt with a t-shirt. A t-shirt. You know what I mean? We was dressed fresh to death. And we had the best things coming out of Egypt. So that's why we get dressed up and for the Passover. We get our garments and we celebrate the Passover. All right. So just a reminder, those is coming up. Right now, we're not doing any. The sisters are not doing any garments outside of the Passover garments. So be patient. Israel wear. You know, whoever is old shirts or from fringed up, you're gonna get them. But remember, they got to put a pause on that to get all the Passover stuff done. All right. So just letting y'all know that. All right. So don't panic if you didn't get your Israel wear for a month. They got it unlocked. They know what is owed. You're going to get it. We're just going to get the Passover stuff done. That's a lot of garments. All right. We got almost 40 garments that needs to be made for brothers. Right. So, and that's not even all the ones that I'm sure brothers and sisters, there's brothers that haven't even logged on and said, hey, they're getting a garment. So there's a lot of work the sisters are doing to get the Passover ready. Now, remember, you're coming to the Passover. What work are you doing? Think about it. The scriptures say don't come to the Most High empty-handed. So what are you doing? Right? If you ain't helping out with the garments, if you ain't doing nothing for the Passover, you got to do something. You can't come empty-handed. Right? Now, if you don't got anything, then that's when charity comes in. We will be there for you. All right? So other than that, was there any other questions online? No? No. Okay. All right. If they don't got anything, let's salute them online. Everybody say shalom. Shalom. We'll see y'all we'll see y'all Tuesday. All right. Is that an update in that corner, sis, right there? Yeah, make sure you do that after you're in there.
Six chill, for real. Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. I'm Judah. Christ sprang out of Judah. King David was Judah. King Asa was Judah. Don't crowd me up, who gon' rouse me up? Alistair Crowley, your time is up. It's a big mess, I gotta clean it up. Esau, the end of my kingdom's up. On the eagle's neck, I'll press. I woke up from my rest. My rulership is up next. No vex. Judah.